Spoilers. Offensive content.
Carlos.
Dave. It's that time again.
And you're just looking so much forward to it. I know.
I am. Folks, we are Carlos and AMURO, the best anime reaction show on the internet. And today we are going to be talking about some of the spring 2019 anime coming out here soon. And kind of pondering which ones we kind of want to watch, which ones don't look good, and maybe seeing if we get your opinions in the comments after. And then after we're done talking about it, stay tuned at the end because you may have noticed our updates kind of slowed down a bit. We want to talk a little bit about how we're going to move going forward. We're not quitting. We're just changing things up a bit. Let's jump right into this hellish hellscape that you call anime previews. This is the spring 2019 preview. And we're keeping with that transparency thing, last week we kind of glossed over some things.
One of the reasons that we're doing this late, I mean, some of these shows have actually already started, is that more and more there have been last-minute additions to these lists. This way, things have started. There should be no more additions to this list, so we're catching everything that's currently known.
I'm just doing this because every time you lure me in with cheese. It's just like, Carlos, here's a
very good cheese.
Here's a cheese and charcuterie board. And I'm like, I'm impressed that you know what charcuterie is. I'm impressed that you have this spread of exotic cured meats and cheeses. Based off our food talk in that one podcast, I did not think you knew what half of these things were. But fuck it, this shit is delicious, and now I'm trapped here and have to do this.
Let's jump right in.
Ace of Diamond Act 2. Oh, we tend to skip sequels. Because if we weren't watching it before, we probably aren't starting now. So,
same thing with Aigatsu Friends Kageki no Jewel. Yeah, it's a sequel. So,
by the way, we're getting all this from Anichart. Go support Anichart. They're great.
Oh, and these are also the English titles, not the Japanese titles.
Yeah, because Anichart has a setting for that now, which is cool.
Thank goodness. Next, Attack on Titan 3, Part 2.
Nobody cares. There's certainly not anybody watching us.
Hey. I care. Kinda.
I care. I
will. Oh, look, there's 10 episodes. I will care after 10 episodes are done, and I can binge watch this.
Gotcha. A second season of something. Oh wow, we're starting strong with the second seasons. Yes, more sequels.
You've got the left. I've got the right. We got our first actual new show to the spring line. Carol and Tuesday, or is it Carol?
It's Carol.
Is it?
What do you mean? Is it Carol? Is your name David?
Sometimes.
It's never that. I've known you your whole life.
This one's by Bones. Or being done by Bones, rather. 50 years have passed since mankind began migrating to the new frontier, Mars. It's an age where most culture is produced by AI. Okay, that sucks. And people are content to be passive consumers, sounds like today. There's a girl scraping a living in the metropolis of Alba City. She's working part-time while trying to become a musician. She always felt like something is missing. Her name is Carol. There's a girl born to a wealthy family in the provincial town of Herschel City. She dreams of becoming a musician, but nobody around her understands. She feels like the loneliest person in the world. Her name is Tuesday. God, that name sucks. A chance meeting brings them together.
Don't editorialize this shit, Dave.
They want to sing. They want to make music. Together they feel like they just might have a chance. No, you don't. The two of them may only create a tiny wave, but that wave will eventually grow into something larger. No, it won't.
So let me apologize for Dave ruining that synopsis.
I just made that synopsis a million times better.
Yeah, that's what you did. So, Carol and Tuesday, there's Yuri potential, but even if no Yuri happens, there's also decent show potential. I kind of dig the idea of needing to make a fresh wave of culture in an AI culture world, especially since, consumerism and whatnot of today can kind of be thought of as so artificial and fake that people need to kind of break away from it. I kind of like the idea of this one.
Okay, I'll add it to the list.
Very well. Well, hang on, Dave. What do you think of this one?
I agree. It does have some potential. I mean, episode 1 will ultimately make or break this one. Whether it shows any potential or whether it's just a slog.
Sure.
I mean, it is 24 episodes.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
There isn't 24 episodes worth of content there.
It is an original. It's music sci-fi, so...
Oh, cool. Nice. You can mark for easy reference. Don't put it a maybe.
Okay, I'll put
maybe is for the shit I say no to. That you then put in maybe.
Well, you do realize there's already a whole bunch of green check marks on it,
oh
right?
My god.
So, for our viewers, you're going to see a couple ones here that we're doing the preview for that we've already decided we're watching. Or I've decided we're watching.
Yeah. It's great. Oh, so good.
Next.
Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba by UFO Table. The setting is Taisho-era Japan. Tenjiro is a kind-hearted young boy who lived peacefully with his family as a coal seller. Their normal life changes completely when his family is slaughtered by demons. The only other survivor, Tenjiro's younger sister Nezuko, has become a ferocious demon. In order to return Nezuko to normal and get revenge on the demon that killed their family, the two of them depart on a journey. From a young talent, an adventure tale of blood and swords begins. Why is this already marked as yes?
Because we talked about that last time and we said yes.
I don't recall saying yes to this.
Of course you don't.
Oh my god. I knew that last week perusal was going to fucking bite me in the ass.
Oh, absolutely.
Can I retroactively change my mind?
No.
Why?
Because I said so.
Okay.
And I'm in charge of the mouse.
Alright. Oh god, this one.
Fairy Gone by PA Works. This is a fantasy action anime. A world where fairies possess and reside within animals, granting them special powers. By surgically removing and transplanting the organs of a possessed animal into a human, humans can partially summon the fairy and use it as a weapon. Eventually, such individuals were used for war, and they were called fairy soldiers. After a long war, these soldiers lost their purpose and had to reintegrate into society. From the government to the mafia and even becoming terrorists, each tread their own path. The story begins 9 years after the end of the war and centers on the protagonist Maria. Maria is a fresh recruit of Dorothea, an organization dedicated to the investigation and suppression of fairy-related crimes and incidents. Even in peacetime, the government is still unstable after the war. Many criminals still have lingering wounds from the previous conflict, and there are terrorist groups bent on revenge. This is the story of fairy soldiers seeking their own justice in a chaotic post-war world.
Chaotic is fucking right. I think I said this last week, but what a convoluted premise. It's like if Pokemon or As Your Dreams was far more complicated than it needed to be. It's like, okay, there are fairies, but they're inside animals who have powers. So you have to kill the animal to get the fairy, to become a fairy soldier, so the fairy's in you. It's just so convoluted to get to the whole premise, which is ultimately people with powers reintegrating into society after the war.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of, the people with powers in Chaika. And the sort of, our main characters going through that post-war downturn.
Sure, but the difference there is that they just have their powers. It's not from a fairy and an animal in a tent.
No, instead his powers became a dragon that partially fused with him to make him a dragon warrior.
Yeah, after this has been established, and you know what, Dave?
I'm just bugging you. I'm just bugging you.
Go fuck yourself. Fruits Basket, the official website for the Hanato Yume, is that what it's called in Japanese? Oh no, that's a magazine. No. Announced a new anime adaptation. Now I'm going to stop reading here, but we will talk about it. You and I and Kiki and I think Poe have all seen the Fruits Basket anime, and I'm pretty sure we're all pretty well versed with what happened in the manga.
Yep.
So this is kind of a continuation or a new anime adaptation. So
of the full manga this time.
Yeah, not just a little bit of the beginning that gives you the wrong idea of who's going to pair with who.
Mm-hmm. Gunjo no Megmil by Studio Pierrot?
Pierrot? It's a French word.
Yeah, okay. It's an action anime. The fantasy series takes place in a world where a new continent named Magmel has suddenly appeared in the ocean, and a new age of exploration has begun. Explorers venture to the island to find previously unknown life forms and resources, but experience one disaster after another. The manga follows the mysterious young men who make a living as relief workers who aid the explorers.
Why the fuck is this a yes to? It's like, here's this cool concept. A new continent has arisen from the bottom of the ocean. The explorers had to brave the depths and find out what's new. Let's make a show about the first aid people who go help them.
I see some potential there. I mean, especially seeing as our main character here seems to be throwing lightning from his hands.
It's kind of
just because they're relief workers doesn't mean they can't be cool.
It's kind of like if in The Last Jedi the main character was like a janitor, and we just followed the janitor the whole time.
So, episode 7 with Rave being a junk person in the desert.
Being a junk person.
I don't know what her job title was in the desert.
Clearly not.
A junker?
This train of thought is not serving you well, Dave.
Next.
Hachigatsu no Cinderella 9. In the game, the player takes the role of an unnamed former Little Senior League baseball ace who lost his or her baseball career after suffering an unspecified injury. The character moves to his or her grandmother's hometown and enrolls in the local high school, resolved never to enter the world of baseball again. When the character meets Tsubasa, he or she is persuaded to be the manager of the school's baseball team and to take the team to the high school nationals at Koshien. Oh, your mouse was there.
Okay. We've already talked many times about how these summaries are pretty awful for the most case.
Which, by the way, is not a knock on Anichart. They're just translating what they're given. I just feel the need to say that so that Anichart doesn't try to copyright strike us.
Defend Anichart. They're worth it. But when your summary is basically a description of your game and not actually talking about, they're showing us an all-female baseball team here. Is our protagonist male or female? Obviously, the game lets you choose, but what's in the anime, not the game?
Plus, Pass. It's baseball. Who cares?
Pass. Hangyaku Sei Million Arthur 2. Based on Square Enix's massively multiplayer online role-playing game. This tells us nothing.
What are you talking about? It's based off a game.
Great!
Million Arthur. That apparently...
It's an action-adventure one, and it's being done by JC Staff, which does some decent things, but, I've got nothing to go on here.
Yeah, you're right. Let's fuck this show. Watch Dave put it in yes. Don't put it in yes. I will fucking punch you. Don't put it in maybe either.
Next.
Hinotori Dogo Onsenhen. Tezuka Production will create an original anime based off Osuma Tezuka's manga Phoenix as part of a collaboration campaign with Ihemi Prefecture named Dogo Reborn Project to promote the restoration and repair of the Dogo Onsen hot spring bath house in Matsuyama. So, an anime based off Phoenix by Osamu Tezuka to promote a hot spring. Look, Osamu Tezuka's a talent. The guy who made Astro Boy deserves our respect. I don't care for this.
Great. Hitaribachi no Marumama Seikatsu.
Where did you get Marumama from?
Maru?
There you go.
C2 by C2C. Never heard of them, actually. It's a comedy slice of life. Hitori Bochi suffers from extreme social anxiety. She's not good at talking to people. Takes pretty extreme actions and is surprisingly adept at avoiding people. Her legs cramp when she overexerts herself, gets full of herself when alone, will vomit when exposed to extreme tension, and often comes up with plans. Now she's entering middle school, and her only friend, Yawara Kai, is attending a different school. This leaves Bochi alone, surrounded by new classmates with whom she must make friends before Kai will talk to her again.
Seems kind of mean.
Yeah,
I won't talk to you until you fucking make friends at your new school.
Yeah.
Why in the fuck is this a maybe? Dave, can you stop?
That one's specifically for me.
If I see this show up in any kind of group setting, that's it.
You're just done.
I'm just done.
Well, I got more ammunition coming.
Kedama no Gonjiro by like 5 things. It's an action-adventure starring what appears to be some kind of living tumor. Makoto, a young boy who befriends an enthusiastic living ball of yarn named Gonjiro. Period. Okay. Thanks to the properties of his woolly body, Gonjiro has the ability to fit and transform, and he uses his powers to resolve all sorts of incidents. The series is described as an unprecedented hairball comedy that will wind its way around your heart, causing strokes. I
Pass.
like nothing about this. Look, I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's like this wondrous adventure type of thing, this heartwarming kids thing. Not for me, I think.
It reminds me of Yokai Watch, and I had no interest in that one. So, moving on.
Yes.
Kenja no Mago by Silver Link. This is one that I am looking forward to.
Yeah, I know.
This is an action fantasy from a light novel. A young man is reborn in another world, where he is adopted as a baby by the hero Merlin Wolford, and named Shin. By his 50th birthday, Shin has accumulated all kinds of power by studying under Merlin, but one thing his adopted grandfather didn't give him was a lick of common sense.
Oh, look, a real person reborn in a fantasy world, and Dave's all over that shit. You have a gift. You have a gift.
Look, Slime was awesome last year.
You know where to find these. Like, it's like... Like,
look, it's not my fault. I actively go past anything with the isekai label. But
clearly not.
This one just grabbed me. It actually been, other than a little bit of perversion, really good. And unlike Shield Hero, has none of the rape or slavery to piss you off.
Oh, you said you've seen this?
I've read some of the manga.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, like, I guess I'll have no choice but to watch it.
Look, I mean, this may translate very poorly into an anime. It's happened before.
Hey, can I ask you a question about 2 of the characters on this thing? Why does one of them look exactly like Zato from Guilty Gear, and why does another one look exactly like Cliff, also from Guilty Gear?
Okay, so the white bearded guy on the left is Merlin.
Cliff, gotcha.
And
who's Zato?
And the new Zato one there. I'm not telling you because that would be a spoiler.
Is he actually Zato?
Ish.
No, I mean from Guilty Gear.
No, he's not. He's not literally Zato.
Does this take place in the Guilty Gear verse?
No, that would be weird.
That would be really weird.
Moving on.
All right. Kido Senshi Gundam: The Origin, Zenya Akai Susui. The Gundam Info Portal site revealed that a 13-episode television series recompilation of Mobile Suit Gundam: The Origin anime will air in Japanese television. The only thing I want to talk about this, because I am not watching this, is that AMURO Rave is Canadian. He was born in Prince Rupert.
Yeah.
That makes him Canadian.
Yeah.
One of the most iconic heroes in anime is a Canadian.
Great.
Just pointing that out. There are people who deny this, and I'm like, he was born in Prince Rupert, and they're like, oh, but it's technically not in Canada in that universe. No, he's Canadian.
Of course people would say that. Next is a sequel, so we skip it.
Okie dokie. Another sequel, Pre-Chen. I'm sure it's great.
Okay.
Moving on.
Next is Kono Oto Tomare by Platinum Vision. This is a drama romance.
Okay.
In the story, thanks for telling us that.
Dave, don't be me. The one cynic is enough.
Ooh, God, that hurt.
Don't be Carlos, okay? Carlos is a stupid cynic fuckface. Don't be me.
Takazo is the last remaining member of the Koto Club, a club dedicated to the traditional Japanese string instrument. If he doesn't find new members, the Koto Club will be terminated. One day, Takazo is alone in the club room when a student barges in and demands to join. The student is delinquent Chika Kudo, a guy who even scares delinquent underclassmen at other schools.
So this has some yaoi romance potential, which I'm always for. And of course, all the stuff with the non-heteronormative shit is in boring series. Because like, oh, cool, non-heteronormative potential. Oh, it's about fucking musical instruments or Go or some other shit. Fuck. That's why I love She-Ra so much. It's an action show with that shit.
Next.
Mayonaka no Occult Komuin. It's by Leiden Films. The modern fantasy manga centers on Arata Miyako, a new government worker assigned to the Shinjuku Ward Office's Nighttime Regional Relations Department. Each of Tokyo's 23 wards has one such department, which were established to solve paranormal and occult-related events. Arata can understand non-human speech that no one else understands, and he encounters a yokai, supernatural entity, at Shinjuku Gion Park that calls him Abe no Seimei, the name of a historical Japanese occultist and diviner. I'm already bored. Why the fuck is this a maybe?
Because it's a maybe.
Oh my god.
Speaking.
Oh my god. No. It's too early to scream.
Is it though?
Never.
Next, Mix, Oriental Light and Magic. Mix takes place 26 years from the story. It's a sequel. Never mind. Next.
I was wondering if you were gonna clue in that was a sequel.
Next.
Namo Amida Butsu, Rendai Utena, which apparently has nothing to do with Utena, which we still have to finish watching.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rowan. Shoutouts to Rowan and his new podcast, Platforms and Pitfalls. Go listen to it. The story follows the 13 Buddha, along with Tai Shakuten and Bonten, who must confront the evil Miara. Miara seeks revenge against Shaka Nyorai, who had previously saved the world from suffering and conflict by achieving enlightenment. Cool. I wish it well.
Oh, look, another sequel. Back to you.
It'll be a good one. Apparently, One Punch Man is fighting Super Saiyan Ultra Instinct Vegeta.
Here's the problem. My problem with One Punch Man. It's like they basically summarized all of Superman into a fist, and you win.
That's the point.
I get that's the point, but it holds no interest to me. It's like, okay, he's doing stupid stuff. Oh, punch, done. At least in Dragon Ball, they dragged out the fights, yes, but at least there was a little bit of combat going on.
If you insist. The fight scenes in One Punch Man are superb.
Yeah.
And they're even better in its manga.
Okay, sure, I'll take your word for that. Moving on.
Robohachi by Studio Comet. The anime story is set in Neo-Tokyo in the year GC Galaxy Century 0051, which marks a half-century since first contact was made. Humans have established super lightspeed navigation technology and formed a commonwealth of planets with aliens. A streak of bad luck is continuing for self-proclaimed freelance reportage writer Robbie Yarge, who is around 30 years old. Not 30, around 30. He fails at work, so his contract is cut. His girlfriend leaves him. He nearly dies in a traffic accident, and debt collectors come after him. One day, a bank snatcher steals Robbie's bag, and a young man helps him. Hachikita, an 18-year-old part-time worker, catches the criminal and returns Robbie's bag. Robbie offers him his gratitude and a meal in return. The pair discover they are complete opposites and soon part ways. However, Hachi turns up again in Robbie's life as a debt collector. Hatch explained that it's his part-time job working for the loan shark Yan. A cat-and-mouse chase begins, and Yan's finance president, Yan, takes his subordinates Aro and Gara along for the ride. Robbie manages to elude Hachi and escape the space while shaking off Yan's group. Sorry, I didn't realize this was a summary of the first episode. Let's continue. Robbie thinks of escaping to Isikander, a distant and legendary planet. Scroll the screen up, Dave. We're not in a professional thing. Let's get this whole shit up. Oh, now you scroll the whole thing! A distant legendary planet in the Milky Way that is said to bring happiness to those who goes here. Though Robbie thought he had escaped to space alone, he discovers Hachi inside his spaceship. The two decide to travel across galaxies together in search of Iskander. Wow!
Okay, so
that is a very long synopsis.
This one takes the cake so far for the longest we've had.
I will say,
I'm also interested.
Yeah, it actually had me hooked. Like, yeah, it wore out its logline welcome approximately at the beginning. But I was hooked. I was like, okay, and then what happened? Jesus Christ. Yeah, I kind of want to see Robohachi by Studio Comet with the bunny guy.
It's already green.
Excellent.
Sarazamai by Mappa.
Okay.
The stage is Asakusa. 1 day to 3 second-year middle school students. Holy crap, that's like a tongue twister.
By the way, people don't know this because I'm going to edit it out, but this is take 2. You started coughing violently the first time you tried reading this.
Kazuki Yasaka, Toi Kuji, and Enta Jinai meet a mysterious Kappa-like creature named Keppe, who forcibly takes their Shirkodama, a mythical organ Kappa steel, through a person's anus, and transforms the boys into Kappa. Keppe informs them, if you wish to return to your former selves, you must connect in that way, and bring me the Shirkodama of zombies. Will the 3 boys be able to connect as they steal Shirkodama from zombies? Meanwhile, 2 policemen, Ryo Boshi,
where was the K?
And Nabu Akutsu.
Where was the N?
Are up to something at the police box where they are stationed. Fuck.
Okay, now I remember last week saying, like, okay, do we really want to see this butt stuff anime? And then you marking it no. And now that I'm reading it again, Dave, I kind of want to see this.
Very well.
I kind of want to see...
Very well.
I don't know if we should put it as green just for our own dignity.
Okay.
This sounds like it's a maybe. Because it's like, okay, you have to invade zombie assholes for their magic organ. And I'm like, well, you know, this isn't the weirdest hentai plot I've heard of, so...
I want you to do a reading from here to there and not get tongue twisted.
Okay. The stage is Asakusa. 1 day, 3 second-year middle school students. Kazuki Yasuka, Tui Kuji, and Enta Jinai.
Fuck you. Damn it.
In fairness, I had to watch you fumble through it twice, so it's fine.
God. And that's a fantasy drama. Okay, it could be okay. We'll give her a shot.
Oh god, speaking of tongue twister titles, Sawayaki Kitsune no Senko-san by Dagakobo, slice of life romance. I already hate it. The everyday life of Nakano, a salaryman working for an exploitative company, is suddenly intruded upon by the Kitsune Senku-sen, 800 years old, young wife. Whether it be cooking, cleaning, or a special service, she'll heal his exhaustion with, okay. Her tender care. Hey, what's that you're about to read?
I've got that one marked as a maybe just for myself.
Why
not
would
for
you
you
do this to yourself?
Because I'm willing to give it an episode.
Why?
Why not?
No, why though?
It could be the sort of wacky hijinks that we got from that other.
Dave, are you okay?
No, I'm not.
Okay. I know the one you're talking about. God help me, I don't remember the name. Yeah, I remember we liked it.
Yeah.
It had the little girl and there was the ghost fox guy.
Ghost race?
Yeah, something son. Yeah, that narrowed it down, Carlos. something son.
That was
Kokuri-san,
yes.
was it? Yeah.
But you saying something said was worth that whole thing.
Accidentally racist.
Next. Shometsu Toshi by Madhouse. One day a town is annihilated. Yuki is a young woman who is said to be the only person left alive from the town after the annihilation, and Takuya is a loner and a smuggler. Together with the letter left by Yuki's father, they go towards the town, now called Lost, but unexpected obstacles stand in their path. The thoughts of those left behind, secret and mysterious organizations, and hidden conspiracies await Yuki and Takuya as they move closer toward the mystery behind Lost.
We marked this as yes, partly because it was Madhouse and the violence. I remember reading this and thinking, yeah, we gotta watch this, right?
I think give it a shot. I mean, let's face it, after one episode, usually I'll give a series a second episode, just in case, the first one didn't quite grab me. But it's usually worth giving it a shot.
And if it's Madhouse, there is a chance of horrific violence.
Yep.
So, a new title in the Dead Aggression franchise, so we'll skip past that.
Okay, We Never Learn Bokuben by Studio Silver and Arvo Animation. His late father always said that a useless man should strive to be useful, so to that end, third-year high school student Nariyuki Yugia?
I think it's Nariyuki Yuiga.
Okay. Dedicated himself to becoming a high-achieving student in his school, despite his history of poor grades. In order to give his destitute family a better life, his ultimate goal is to obtain the special VIP nomination, a prestigious scholarship covering all future university tuition fees. Although Nari could feasibly be a shoe-in for the nomination, he is constantly overshadowed by classmates Rizu Ogata and Fumino Furuhashi in mathematics and literature, respectively. To his delight, Naruki receives the nomination, but there's a catch. He has to tutor his two-star classmates who are each hopelessly mediocre at the other subject of expertise. To make matters worse, the subjects they are horrible at are the same subjects they want to pursue for their future. As the time to submit university application draws nearer, Naruyuki must find an effective tutoring method for the girls before it's too late. Comedy, ecchi, I'm out.
Yeah, this is an example of a long explanation that sucked.
Ugh.
It's like it went on, and I already hated it from the beginning.
Oh, boy.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, right.
Yokai Watch, no thank you.
A girl who chants love at the bound of this world by Feel.
By Feel, period.
Whatever. By Feel.
Yeah, by Feel.
It's a sci-fi drama. Takuya Arima is a young student whose father, a historian who has conducted various researches, disappeared recently. During a summer vacation, Takuya receives a peculiar package from his missing father, along with a letter containing information about the existence of various parallel worlds. Actually, that period actually came out of nowhere.
It blindsided you, it did.
At first, Takuya doesn't take it seriously, but soon he realizes that he possesses a device that will allow him to travel to alternate dimensions. Is his father alive, after all? If so, where is he?
Now, I see this marked as yes, and I can definitely understand why. But Dave, at the first sign that I get that this might be done by any people involved in Elfen Lied, or that one that was by the creator of Elfen Lied that got taken down, that's only on our website. What the fuck was that one? It was really bad.
Yes, I remember.
It started with Kuroneko, and I said if any anime starts with the word Kuroneko, I know it's shit.
Yes,
if I remember. Get any inkling that this is by those people, I'm out.
Do you feel it?
If he starts the anime with Kuroneko, I am out on second too.
Fair enough. And that is it for the upcoming stuff. Just quickly go through the TV shorts, anything that looks interesting.
Ao-chan Can't Study.
Which, no, we're not reading these.
No, we're not reading them. This is one about how her father was an erotic author and she had to learn weird pervy pervert stuff. And I think we should watch this because I think it could be funny.
B Rapper Street, no.
Jeez. Cinderella Girls, this is a sequel.
Yeah. I'm from Japan, no.
Isekai Quartet has the word isekai in its title, so that's definitely a no.
hold on. Anime crossover project with works of Overlord, Konosuba, ReZero, and Yujo Senki.
The only way I would care is if this was an Arxis fighting game, so no thank you.
Yeah, okay. Josie Kasai? Who needs dialogue when you do this? Ugh, move on.
Nope, no dialogue, just picture, sound effects, and 3 high school girls. So that's a completely dialogue-free show? I kind of want to see one episode just out of the pure curiosity. What do you think?
I'll put it as a maybe.
Sure. Kende Noko ni Sensei Ga? By Tear Studio. A 17-year-old average guy who happens to find himself in a perverted situation, and like that, you've lost me.
Actually, if I remember from last week, you were actually mildly curious.
Christ.
Perverted situation with his teacher.
Can I take that back and be like, no? Come on.
I'd like to remind you, we still have so many things to get to from last season, so...
We're never going to get to them. We need to look to the future.
Nabugana Sensei no Ozenzuma.
Yeah, I already read this, and I am not watching it.
Relationship with a middle school teacher who has a knack for gal games. Next.
Overdrive Girl 1/6 by Studio A-Cat. Bishojo character figure, young male otaku office worker, begins moving and talking, and no.
Senru Shoujo. Yuki is a cute, cheerful high school girl with one particular trait. Instead of verbal communication, she writes Senryu next.
Jesus.
Sequel next.
What the fuck is this?
4th season of Shonen Ashibi.
What is with that guy's hair?
Don't want to know.
It's amazing.
More Strike Witches.
And Yotogami-chan, something Nikki. Gee, I am really not trying.
Regional cultural
Nikki.
differences from the area of Nagoya.
Sure. I wish it well.
Yeah. Leftovers.
We still have to watch Boogie Pop. I'm sorry we didn't.
And
why are you scrolling so fast? Go back up. We still have to watch Dororo. Now you can scroll down.
And I'm watching Rise of the Shield Hero. I'll
Sure.
probably do a video eventually.
Sure.
Movies.
Birthday Wonderland. The story follows Akane, a girl with no self-confidence. On the day before her birthday, she meets a mysterious alchemist Hippocrates and their student Pipo, who both tell her they're on a mission to save the world. Together they set out from the basement for Wonderland, and Akane finds herself labeled Wonderland's savior? That seems wacky. That could be fantastic or bad. That's about right.
Sensorial Connect. Oh, it's a sequel.
Okay. Children of the Sea by Studio 4 Degrees Celsius. One summer vacation, Ruka meets 2 boys, Umi and Sora, whose upbringing contains strange and wonderful secrets. Drawn to their beautiful swimming, also almost more like flying, Ruka and the adults who know them are intertwined in a complex mesh. Meanwhile, an unexplained anomaly is occurring all over the world. Fish are disappearing. Thus begins a marine adventure of boys and girls to captivate all the senses.
I'll pass.
But it's a mystery, Dave.
Oh, it's a mystery, alright. Doraemon next.
Yeah, but sure,
Frame Girls next.
Frame Arms Girl,
Girls
which
and Panzer.
for some reason got a movie. Girls und Panzer, which for some reason got a movie. Hakubo by Twilight Studio. Hakubo follows youths living in the now and present at Iwaka City, Fukushima Prefecture after the Tohoku earthquake and tsunami of March 11, 2011. A terrible tragedy, to be sure. I don't care to see this.
Sequel.
Yeah, hang on. There's something I want to say about that. I've not watched Hibiki Euphonium. All I know is that the main girl and the black-haired girl might be an item, and I ship them even though I know nothing about them.
Okay, moving on.
The Kaminari of the Iron Fortress, The Battle of Hunato.
Sequel.
It is a sequel, yes.
Laid Backers.
By Studio Gokumi, which I assume is the sequel to Get Backers.
The anime takes place in modern Kyoto. Kumi is a college student who moves to Kyoto in order to take over the candy store inherited from her late grandmother. The house accompanying the candy store was supposed to be unoccupied, but there Kumi meets 3 women, Harami, Mai, and Kei, and a dog. The 4 are heroes who were reincarnated from their world into this one. One day, the former Demon King, who messed up her reincarnation, is now in the form of an elementary school student, appears and asks, "Will you please collect the Demon King fragments together with me?"
Well, it's Studio Gokumi, which means it will either be really good or really shitty.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put it as a maybe just for reference, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
There's a Lupin the Third movie. One of my favorite movies is the Lupin the Third movie, Castle of Cagliostro. But to be honest, I haven't really sought out any more Lupin the Third materials.
See, I thought that film was okay despite being a Lupin film. I'm not a big fan of the character.
Sure.
Next one is a Conan movie. Next.
Pandora to a... Stop it! To a Kubi, Koya no Jugeki-sen by X-Flag and Tatsunoko. An X-Flag and Tatsunoko collaboration, which they describe as battle entertainment for girls. The anime features a Kubi from Tatsunoko's Hakushan Daimo TV anime and Pandora from X-Flag's Monster Strike smartphone game, which also has its own web anime adaptation. A Kubi, I'm stopping reading here, because I want to talk about something. You don't need to make action for girls, just like you don't need to make action for guys. I hate this whole gendering of fiction that happens not only in anime, but also out here. The whole Betty Crockering the girls and Tonka Hasbroing the boys is stupid, and I hate this shit in anime as well. That said, if they're really trying to make it for girls, it's probably going to be better than most shonen shows.
Mm-hmm. Promar. Yeah, that sounds right. By Trigger. Gallo, a new recruit of the Burning Rescue Fire Department, face off against Burnish, a group of mutants who are able to control and wield flames, and the fire disaster they have unleashed on Earth.
Why have we not already seen this?
Wow.
This sounds awesome. And look at that Bishi man.
It's not out until the 24th of May.
Fuck.
But it's already got a green.
Yeah, agreed. I agree with that. Rascal does not dream of Bunny Girl Senpai movie. No, I'm not continuing this.
Oh, come on!
Next.
It's a continuation to an anime that we automatically did not want to watch.
And next.
Taga Tame no Alchemist by Satellite. Fantasy. A theatrical movie based on Fujiangumi game simulation, role-playing, smartphone, and PC game Taga Tame no Alchemist. The game is centered on 7 characters themed around the 7 deadly sins and is set on the continent of Babel, where the Tower of Babel looms large over 7 nations. After the invention of alchemy led to its use as a tool of war that brought humanity to the brink of extinction, the 7 nations struck an uneasy peace that led to a prohibition on alchemy for hundreds of years since. In the continental year 911, the nation of Lustris broke the pact by assembling an army bolstered by alchemy with ambitions of conquest over the continent. Led by...
just say enchilada.
Envy, the 6 nations allied and struck down the rogue nation, casting alchemy once again into darkness. But 20 years after the war, alchemy once again begins to cause chaos in the land. Not as bad as that other one, but still pretty long.
It might be okay.
And I'll put on the maybe.
Utai no Prince-sama, Maji Love Kingdom movie. It's a sequel. We got some OVAs. 7 Seeds by Gonzo. Scientists had predicted this disaster, and in response, the leaders of every country met, I'm not doing this voice, I'm about to cough, to develop a plan for human survival before the meteor hit. The 7 Seeds project was developed out of this meeting. Each country froze a number of young, healthy people, which allowed them to survive the meteor. After the computer determined that Earth was once again safe for human life, it released them into the world. The Japanese government created 5 groups of survivors: Winter Group, Spring Group, Summer Group A, Summer Group B, and Fall Group. Why did they name them after seasons when there are 4? Oh my god. Each group consists of 7 members and 1 guide. The guide carried small tubes of poison on their necks to allow them to end their lives if the situation became unbearable. The Japanese government prepared 7 Fuji as refuges for the camp. In each Fuji, the group would find seeds and numerous books instructing them on survival in the wilderness. I hate everything about what I just read.
We discussed this one last time. Why in the fuck would you not have people already having learned these skills? Why are they reading books to learn to survive?
Look, the older I get, the more I realize that plot holes are whatever. If something's good and cool, whatever. But when the whole fiction's a plot hole and it sounds stupid...
Yeah.
Look, I like you, Gonzo, but I'm gonna have to say no.
Next.
A Cinderella Girls 1, nah.
That's a sequel.
Martian Madchen, which is a sequel. Miru Tight. Oh, sorry. God. You go ahead. That's your side.
Thanks.
You read this abomination.
Miru Tights by Yokohama Animation Lab. Fuck you. A rainy morning.
You don't have to read this. I'm going to spare you this.
No, I'm reading it. A rainy morning in April. Cherry blossoms are struck by the rain and floats in the puddle. High school students enter the school gate carrying various colors of umbrellas. Good morning, Ren, you agreed, Ren, wearing wet tights in front of the shoe cupboard. When Ren faced her glumly, Homie, who was drenched, joined them as if she is jumping.
No, really, you can
The
stop
girls discuss the new semester. The girls live their irreplaceable school life as the seasons change.
Now, there are 2 things this could be. This could be a really smart and ambitious show about exploring sexuality, or it's a really stupid pervert shit thing for dumb otaku fuck nuggets to masturbate to.
It's labeled ecchi.
That doesn't mean anything. But I don't want to watch it. Ojomaju Doremi, Orai Gekijo, with no description. I wish it well.
Pop Team Epic TV special.
I like the first episode, but I think I got the gist of it.
Yeah.
A Real Akuma show, which I think I'm not going to see, and I'm pretty sure you don't want to see either.
No, that's fine. The Island of Giant Insects by Passione. After an airplane crash during a school trip, Oribe, Mitsumi, and her classmates were stranded on a seemingly deserted island. Matsumi found the other survivors and used her wilderness knowledge to help them. She expects they will be rescued in about 3 days, which doesn't seem so long to endure. However, she didn't account for the fact the island is populated with gigantic killer insects. Her knowledge of butterflies, wasps, and more may be the only thing that can help any of her classmates survive to be rescued. Why do we have this as green?
Because they're on an island of giant fucking insects, Dave? Maybe that's why?
Okay.
Uchu no Maid ga Uzasugiru OVA, included with the 4th volume of something.
Ultraman. It's Ultraman. What's there to say?
I agree with that. Wataten, an angel flew down to me OVA. OVA bundled with something else.
So, there you have it. That is the spring lineup.
Yes. What did you think of the spring lineup? Make sure you leave that in the comments, and we'll talk about it. And maybe there's something here we didn't give a fair shake, in which case, shut the fuck up. You don't need to fucking add more to my plate. Don't give Dave any ideas.
I am open to anything if you make a constructive argument. I also include it will torture Carlos greatly.
I will delete it before Dave sees it.
I get emails on that stuff.
I will come to your house and rummage through your computer.
So
before we go here, we want to talk about how we're going to do things in the future here. So, first of all, let's put people's fears at ease. We're not stopping. It's just a matter of reality and real world concerns about time and compensation, for which we get none of for doing this because we just love doing it, barring a couple Patreon bucks, which we're really grateful for, by the way.
And let's highlight one of the core reasons that we're having to go this route. YouTube and fucking copyright strikes.
That is one of the big reasons, for sure.
It is one of the big reasons. Otherwise, we could probably still do the shorter videos that we're planning with video. But the moment you do video and audio, we're getting copyright strikes every freaking video, and honestly, guys, it's kind of soul-crushing.
It's not sustainable. So what we're planning to do is we're still going to have us talking about animes. We're definitely going to have more videos about our impressions of stuff because people seem to like that. We're still going to record our reactions as we watch them, and we'll include the choice ones in our summary because, you know, I'm hilarious apparently. Or I put people to sleep. I'm not sure. It's one of those two things.
Well, as everybody knows, I'm the reasonable one, and I keep people going.
That's what's happening. But we're mostly going to use stills of shows, if any at all. We're definitely going to transition more to something audio. Like the kind of thing that you probably just could have on in the background and not really need to look at it and just listen to what we're talking about. Just because that avoids copyright strikes with video. Unless we're doing Let's Plays, which you kind of need to have the video there.
Yeah.
And for the most part, those are fine. But our schedule may slow down a bit because I was going to do this thing called Backlog Apocalypse 2019. Backlog Apocalypse 2019. But it's not happening because it's just too much work. There's too much of a backlog. And I need to have a more realistic kind of approach to this. If it starts to get to the point that I hate it, I'm not going to want to do Anime Rave anymore. And I don't want to get to that point because I love doing it. So with my editing, and Dave has his own shit he's always got to deal with, you know, we have to take a more realistic approach to things. So we're going to be doing less video reactions, more audio, us talking about things. Our release schedule is still not going to be a schedule. It's going to be irregular as it's always been. If you're okay with that and you have the funds to spare, by all means, go to our Patreon, send us a few bucks. If not, times are tough. Just spread the word. And that's all we ask, really. So we're not going anywhere. Just be patient with us, please, as we aim to win the lottery or just get into a situation where this can be more prominent in our lives. Anywho, folks, what do you think of all that? Let us know at animerave.xyz. The whole Carlos of Anime Rave, the best anime reaction on the internet.
Don't tune in next time. He's going to do that sort of lazy exit. I mean, that wasn't even... Okay, it's never intelligible. Never mind.
You heard him, folks. Don't tune in and cut.